Welcome to All About Factoring series.
Hello everyone, my name is James and this video is part 1 of a series about tricks you can use to identify factors of numbers. It's very important to be able to identify factors as the skill will be useful for performing calculations such as simplifying fractions. So to get started, the easiest type of numbers to find factors of are even numbers. If you're not sure what an even number is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, or any number ending with one of those. And so let's go and try some examples to identify what's even and what's not. So 46, is that an even number? Well, yes, because it ends with 6. Well, what about for 101? Well, no, because it doesn't end with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So remember, it has to end with one of those 5 numbers for it to be considered even. Okay, well, what about 68? Well, yes, because the last digit is 8. And then what about for 100? Well, yes, because the last digit is 0. So now we know how to determine what's an even number. What's the point of knowing this? Well, for any even number, 2 is a factor. So if you're being asked to identify some factors for a number, and that number is even, you can say 2 to start with. And if you're not sure why, it makes sense. Think about it like this. Imagine you had $50 and wanted to split it with a friend. Without using coins, so dollar bills only, could you split the amount? Well, splitting it means you each get $25 exactly. So 50 is an even number. This analogy applies for any even number. So because of this, 2 is a factor for any even number. And so earlier, I said an even number is a number ending in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Let's talk about even numbers ending with 0 specifically. For these special numbers, 10 is a factor. In other words, I can divide an even number ending with 0 by 10 evenly. So let's go ahead and get some practice with to identify if a number is divisible by 10 or if 10 is a factor of that number. So for example, if we start with 21, well, in this case, 21 doesn't end with 0, so because of that, 10 is not a factor. Okay, well, what about 40? Yes, because it ends with 0. How about 7,000? Yes, because the last digit is 0. So even though it's a big number, our rule will still apply. So what about for 207? Well, no, it doesn't because it doesn't end with 0. And then what about for 300? And then yes, because it ends with 0. And so if you're not sure why this makes sense, again, let's think about money here. For this case, you'll think about the amount or the number, and you'll see if you can be paid, but with $10 bills only. If you're able to, then 10 is a factor of that number. So again, going with the example from earlier, you had $50. If I were to pay you $50, could I do so with $10 bills only? And in this case, I can, because I would just need 5 of them to pay you the $50. So because of this, 10 is a factor of 50. So even numbers and numbers ending with 0 are the easiest numbers to find factors for. And again, identifying factors of numbers is very important for any future math courses you plan on taking, as it can simplify answers. In the next part, I'll go over a couple more tricks you can add to your toolbox for finding more factors of certain numbers. Thanks for watching.
That's a wrap for today's episode of All About Factoring series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next All About Factoring episode.